It won on racetracks as diverse as Silverstone and the Nürburgring, and it was the rally car to beat on both tarmac and the loose, on both special stages and long-distance marathons. It was a game changer, a car perfectly in tune with its era. It is the Ford Escort, 50 years on.
Before the official announcement of the new model by Ford, unfortunately on the transit journey from Boreham to Byfleet, the sheet tarpaulin blew off the lorry and the whole secret was out for the world to see. It was a really trend-setting car, both in motorsport and in the popular imagination. It has an unusual sliding strut arrangement on the front axle, and then at the rear there's a Watts linkage and torsion bar.
Up into fourth, flat in fourth, a little bit of opposite lock again. Braking hard for this left-hander. Stay out a bit, tightens up a lot here. Down into second for the right-hander. Plenty of power. Slides nice out of this corner. 9,000 in second. Flat through this left-hander in third. Up to 9,000. Changing to fourth. Doing about just over 100 here. Braking for the fast right. Through the fast right in fourth. Brakes very hard for this tight right-hander.
I think it was probably the best of them all because of the package. The Mini was very good, the Cortina was slightly bigger. The Escort, if you're trying to design a package to be suitable for world rallying of any sort, you'd end up with an Escort.
Dad's sort of timing into rallying and the timing of the Escort into rallying, they sort of came together at the right point, and it was kind of a bit of a match made in heaven, really. He loved the car, he loved driving it. I remember one of his quotes was he loves going berserk in a Mark I Escort.
Then came the Mark II, a new, neater, faster Ford Escort that still captured the soul of the epic Mark I.
It's an iconic car, there's no doubt about that. And it was a real kind of landmark car as well. It followed obviously from the Mark I, which was a great car in itself, but the Mark II really took that on to another level and won obviously the first ever Drivers' World Championship with Bjorn Valdegaard in '79. The car completely coincided with the arrival of commercial sponsorship. You only had to look around, you know, big names, British Airways. One of the best was Cossack.
As all the fans know, to see an Escort going around a corner was to see super opposite lock slides. It was a magnificent sight and sound.
The RAC Rally was always famously Britain's biggest motorsporting event, and somebody from Lombard came up with this figure that 2 million people were out there watching it because you had all these people going into the stages, but at the side of the road, all the way on the road sections between the stages, people would be standing at roundabouts, you know, on garage forecourts, through towns, just standing, just catching a glimpse of these cars as they went through. It was huge. The other big thing I think at that time was that people could buy Mark II Escorts. It was then a modern family car that people could almost aspire to moving up to an RS 1800, and it just made sense as a family car to go and watch these great cars out on the stages. Roger Clark, just an all-time hero, and that was all because of essentially a Mark I Escort and then a Mark II. You know, Roger did all of the development work on the Mark I. He was kind of right at the heart of that car.
He was very efficient the way he drove, and I think that came through in his sort of stage times. I think obviously there are times where he's trying to slow the thing down or maybe on the power a little bit too soon and the thing would step out, but another one of his sayings was as long as he's not looking out the rear window, he's happy.
Arguably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, British rally driver ever. He was the master of the Escort. He was a great person to know, very buoyant, good fun, very hard driver, and not a man to be crossed.
He wasn't effusive, but the way he related to people. I was at a motor club function not long ago and said, how would you describe the spirit of rallying? Roger Clark sideways in an Escort.
They were genuinely iconic cars, and I can't really think of cars coming along now they're going to have the same impact in 50 years.
With the Escort, it was very much part of you, and every sort of twitch and every time it sort of moved around, you felt everything.
It would appear that for a creative operation like motorsport, there's some advantage in not having somebody looking over your shoulder all the time.
I think to have 5 world champions behind me was nearly as good as winning the RSA.
The inner arches from a Mark I Transit van, believe it or not, and came up with this package which Frank came over from the Tasman series to drive for the first time and must have, I would have thought, been quite impressed with.